Welcome to the Johnny Dell Football Academy podcast on the channel that's trying to answer the whys and hows of the game by talking through and dissecting game film and diving deeper to explain why the X's zig and the O's zag. I am Adam Marino, joined by Mr. Johnny Dell, and we are reminding you, as always, the most fun way to watch is on YouTube, where we go live. There you can comment into the live show. Be sure to hit the notification bell and turn on your notifications so you can be a part of the conversation. We also stream live on Facebook and X. Also, the audio versions are always found on Spotify, Apple, wherever you get your podcasts. Now, if you are live with us in the chat, it's probably because you are subscribed, you've hit the notification bell, and turned those notifications on. So, when sharing with your friends, be sure to let them know. We also love to hear from you outside of our live show. Email us at jonnydelsfootballacademy@gmail.com, and you can always check out the website jfa49.com, as it is the most fun way to support the channel. Also, the way we boost the chat and boost the algorithm is to type out hashtag JD49. Woo! Hashtag JD49. Let us go. Been a while, been a too long of a while. Happy 4th of July weekend. Johnny got his voice back.
I did, mostly. It's about 85% of the way there.
We'll take it. Hey, an 85% Johnny Dell is better than a 100% most anybody else. We did not rehearse that. That's pretty solid. Gotta say.
And it was very clear.
We got a lot to get into. This is going to be a very good show. And I've been wanting to hear your take on this, Johnny. Because now with BA, this is beyond, oh, the guy's being crazy. Like, that's not what I want to talk about. What I want to talk about is some of the facts, because I'm curious, like, he's actually lying, right? Like, he's saying that stuff happened back in November, that the facts show that's just not the case. That is really, really hurting his chances at catching a football on a field ever again.
I mean, at this point, it's getting hard to keep up with all the Brandon Aiyuk videos because they're dropping about every 12 hours. About every 12 hours, he's doing something to try and get attention. Look, all this really started because, well, it all started back really as Richard Sherman laid it out during the Super Bowl. He was frustrated. Then the contract negotiation. And look, the 49ers didn't do everything 100% right during the contract negotiation. They had a chance to sign him early before the offseason, before that Super Bowl, to a contract extension, get it done then, get it done cheaper. And they tried to leverage that against him to get a better year. Now, what we are also seeing is that they had concerns about him pretty much since that he was drafted. Remember, he was sort of in the doghouse. His rookie year, and then he had the issue with the right color shorts out on the field, and there have been more things like this. Okay, right. People have made they made too much of all those things. No, they haven't, because this is exactly why they put you through a test before you get that second contract. They want to make sure, they want as close to a surety as they can that you are going to be committed to the team. They're going to invest a huge amount of money in you. And it's not that, these billionaires don't have money. It's not over that issue, is that you have only so much salary cap space. Your salary cap space is everything in the NFL, because it's not like the NBA. You don't have exemptions, and you don't have a luxury tax area, and you can't do these things to get over the cap and mess around with stuff. In the NFL, it is a hard cap. You get that. That is how much money you have to spend. It is not determined by the individual owner. It is determined by the league and by the collective bargaining agreement. So when they're going to give one person 10% of the cap on a 53-man roster. That is a massive investment. You need to be 100% reliable. You need to be 100% bought in to the team. You have to show up every single day. You have to be good every single day. And there have been concerns through with Brandon Aiyuk. And so what they wanted to do, and so I understand their reasoning. My thing was, if you're not gonna give him the contract extension at the value that he was looking for early 2023, which is around 23 million a year, then why were we going to even pay him 27 or 28 that you eventually paid him? You should have traded him at that point if you weren't certain. You had the contract year that they leveraged on him, and they felt he really did a lot of things well during that year and really stepped up, as they said, okay, we'll give you the contract extension. But then the price went up because the wide receiver market changed, and they didn't want to pay that. They just didn't. And he didn't want to negotiate with them. He said, this is my price. I'm not moving. And then they didn't talk for 4 months. And yes, the 49ers kind of spun that in their direction. Every NFL team is going to do that. That's the way this game works. He took it personal, and he took some of the things that were said over this contract negotiation personal. And he took the everything of Shanahan getting on him and getting upset personal. There's business and there's personal. And so we're really here because Brandon Aiyuk got hurt. They voided his guarantees. He did not show up at the time he was supposed to check in early for training camp. The issue wasn't that he rehabbed away from the team. People are making it about that. It wasn't.
Right. He made the video saying, I just didn't rehab with y'all. I just didn't do it with y'all. Like, that's what I'm saying. Like, that's not what
which was not the issue.
about.
The issue was that he did not check in early for training camp because they had guaranteed money. And if he gets put on IR, they can't release him and they have to pay him his entire base salary. So, and they need to know, are you going to be on the PUP? Are you going to be on IR to begin the year? Are you going to be on, like, what are you going to be on? We're going to activate you because you're going to be here in 2 weeks. But before you ever do anything on the field, they want to make sure that you're not going to step out on the field and within 2 days you're going to be back on IR with another surgery and a setback, and they are set back all that money on the cap again. Right. Like, it's business. They need to make sure that their commodity that they have invested in is going to be able to be on the field that year. That's what they're most invested in. And he took these things personally. The team is invested in his long-term success. That's what the contract is about. So everything goes on. They void his guarantees because he doesn't show up. They're saying, we're not guaranteeing your money if we can't guarantee that you will not get hurt the first time you step on the field. And you didn't go through the process, and you didn't go through things we need. This was what it's been with BA. And so they void his guarantees. All this happens. He leaves the team, doesn't call back. He's like, I'm out. Don't want to have anything to do with you. That's okay to feel, but you signed your name on a dotted line that guaranteed your services to a specific club. He thinks he's got the power here. Right. You signed your services away. There's a non-compete clause. You cannot go sign with somebody else. You don't have an option here. Your services are contracted to a specific team for a specific amount of money. And if you do not render those services, you will not get paid. And you cannot just demand that you be let out of this contract at your will. You work at the will and leisure of the owner. You are an at-will employee. You are not a for-cause employee. You work at will. 99% of people in this world, in our country, are at-will employees. Your employer can fire you at any point for any reason, and they cannot fire you at any point for any reason. The difference is most of us don't sign a contract promising our services to a specific employer for a set amount of time. He did that. Okay, so he was expecting them to release him June 1st. He thought they were going to do a post-June 1st cut and then spread the money out. And so when June 1st happened and he didn't get released, now he's throwing a tantrum to get his way off the team. And what he doesn't understand is, one, this is reinforcing everything that Shanahan and Lynch had told anybody who called them about him and said, hey, we're interested in signing BA after you release him. We know you're probably going to release him at some point. Give us the skinny on this. What's the deal? Why did this go south? Why are you guys not keeping him? He's a great talent. I promise you, Adam Peters has asked both of them about this. They are close.
Oh, yeah.
And what he's doing is not disproving anything they've said. It is proving every concern they have ever had about him and that they are sharing with every other team in text messages and calls. They're going to be telling everybody about this. Like, I would not be surprised if there's an NFL GM Discord server that they are just literally is just about BA and
Jay Glazer.
But he's being an idiot. He thinks he can force their hand to get him out. And here's what's going to happen. You piss off the wrong people. You play stupid games. You win stupid prizes.
Yeah.
The 49ers are going to look at this, and he's saying, I'm going to go sign with the Commanders. I'm going to go sign with the Commanders. I'm not stepping foot back in that building until the Commanders come play in Santa Clara. I'm going to bring a belt to you. And they're going to say, oh, really? Well, here's what we're going to do. What we're going to do is you have a big option bonus August 29th. We're not releasing you until August 28th. If you show up. If you don't show up, we don't owe that. And you're going to stay on the did not report, and all this doesn't matter anyways. And we get back all of our cap space for you. And what's going to happen is you don't show up for training camp. That's a league issue. We can't control that. The league is going to fine you $50,000 a day. You do not show up to training camp. It'd be about $1.5 million by the time it's all said and done.
Gosh, that is wild.
That's a lot of cake. That's a lot more than what he had in his backpack when he was throwing it on the ground.
Yeah.
So they're gonna do that. They're also gonna say, and if you sign with the Commanders, we're gonna launch an investigation immediately into your conduct and request your phone records, request copies of your text messages, your emails, anything. And if you had any of the Commanders' playbooks, their install tapes, or anything, you are now violating our exclusivity clause in your contract. And so we're going to then sue. Like, one, we're going to petition that you get suspended by the NFL without pay. And then they're going to sue him for his signing bonus back. They don't care that he's already paid taxes on it, which, just those of you who live in California, you know about what the taxes are. He's probably paid on $50 million, probably around $30 million in taxes, what he's paid. And they're going to recoup that, and they're going to say, you better pay all that back. And court order, you're going to have to pay all that back. And you don't have the money because you already spent it and you had to pay most of it in taxes.
Sell your house.
They're going to say, sell your house.
Your cars.
They're going to say, hey, okay, we're going to put a lien on you for every dollar you pay in offsets. Every dollar that you get paid by another team is going to go to us until it pays back that signing bonus. And we're going to recoup that salary cap space. And so what they're going to do is the Commanders are going to look at that and say, that's a team that we may be facing in the playoffs for the next number of years. At least that's our goals. And do we really want to pay them salary cap space for Brandon Aiyuk? That's going to give them a big advantage. Your I guess appeal to the Commanders has absolutely tanked. You think because your buddy Jaden Daniels is there that you're going to get it? No, like, your appeal has gone way down. And Filthy Casual saying, I thought they could only recoup future NFL pay. No, they can recoup his signing bonus. It's the Barry Sanders rule. So there was a rule put into the CBA, I want to say it was 98 or 99, where because Barry Sanders, remember, he retired suddenly, and he had just signed a big contract with the Lions, and they paid him a big signing bonus, and then he just kind of retired on him. And they were like, whoa, wait a minute, dude. We love you, Barry, but we're going to be on the hook for all this dead money and this money we've paid you for expected services and expected contract life. you're not playing here, but they couldn't get the money back. So when the league and the players went into the CBA that year, the owners were like, there needs to be a rule. It's the Barry Sanders rule that if somebody unexpectedly leaves the team, whether retire or just quits outside of injury, if somebody has to retire for injury, look, we'll leave that up to the individual team. So generally, if that happens, teams don't try and recoup signing bonus from that. But if a player retires earlier than expected, or just leaves the team, it is completely open for them to get that signing bonus back.
Yeah.
And this is why, like Trent Williams right now, he's not getting signing bonuses on these new contracts. He's getting it every other year. He's getting guaranteed salary. That's so that that issue of you've retired and we already paid you a signing bonus for 2 years of a contract you're not playing on, that he's not doing that. It's guaranteed salary now. So like, and you see this with players near the end of their careers, is that they have less signing bonus, usually almost no signing bonus. It's going to be like an option bonus if you're still on the roster, or roster bonus, or guaranteed salary. They move away from the signing bonus because, again, that is something that is upfront money paid on a contract that is expected to be played out. And so when he's done this and he's just leaving and wanting his signing bonus still and trying to force his way out of a team, and he just quit on the team, fired his agent, didn't know he didn't fire his agent, because that's crazy. Then the 49ers have every right to recoup his signing bonus. So like, what he is doing, he doesn't get it. They can come after your signing bonus, and he's saying, well, I got a bag. I'm good. I can do all this. And he thinks he's going to go sign a $20 million a year with the Commanders. That's what he thinks. Like, you only act this way and act this flippantly towards a team that has the legal right to come at you for that signing bonus that you probably don't have the money in the bank to pay back, if you think you're going to get another really fat contract from another team. Like, right. He's not doing this thinking he's going to go get league minimum at the Commanders. And that is the only way they sign him at this point. Like, they'll say, yeah, we're going to be here, but we'll sign you league minimum if you show up every single day. And if you do all these other things, then maybe we will pay you more, but we don't even want to, because all that money is going to go to the 49ers. And that's an issue between you and them, because you signed on the dotted line. You and you can't claim that you didn't have advice or counsel during that point. You picked your agent. It wasn't the agent's fault that he was also John Lynch's agent. Then you should have picked a different agent at that point. There's a lot of agents out there.
Yeah.
Like, he's acting like these were all things that just happened to him. He has made these things happen. It's showing that this is not the brightest bulb in the drawer, not the sharpest knife in the drawer. And so, like, it's just all of this is done is reinforce that the 49ers were probably mostly in the right with everything that they've handled Brandon Aiyuk. The biggest mistake they made is they never should have given him this contract.
Yeah.
But this is where it's at. He thinks he's going to get this big bag. He thinks he's going to have success going forward. He's absolutely torpedoing his value. And I will say, former 49ers GM Scott McCloughan and former, when there were the Redskins GM Scott McCloughan, had this to say about Brandon Aiyuk. And this is via Coach Yak on X. He said, when they drafted him, talking about the 49ers, I said he is a number one receiver talent-wise, but you be very, very careful with the character. At Arizona State, he got in trouble there too. Herm Edwards was the coach, and he said, listen, he's a wild card. We don't know if he's going to show up. We don't know if he's going to do anything, or he might come and have the best day of his career. What he's done to the 49ers is embarrassing. Embarrassing. What you're getting in your building is going to be the same thing. There will be good days, but there's going to be bad days. And this is what he's showing. He is tanking his value. And it goes back to, if you look at what the 49ers have done with a lot of guys over the years, is that they focus on character through the draft. There have been a couple exceptions. Reuben Foster and Brandon Aiyuk. And both of these have not gone well with their character concerns. So going back to pre-draft conversations, I remember people telling me about Zion Young, because I said I was out on him because he had gotten to a fight in the tunnel against Michigan. They there was like 5 Mizzou guys. They attacked 2 guys from Michigan, threw them on the ground, were stomping on them, kicking them, and he got an assault charge that way. He also had a DUI right in December before the draft. And I said, and people were like trying to defend a DUI to me, like saying that almost everybody has had a DUI. And I'm like, I don't know what you're talking about because I've never had one. I've never driven impaired ever in my life. So I don't know what we're talking about here. And saying, well, we need some guys who are a little crazy on the defense. And it's like, okay, you want crazy? Go scroll through Brandon Aiyuk's Instagram right now, and you see why you have to stay away from these guys. Because more money doesn't make crazy less crazy. It makes it more crazy.
Yeah.
Like, if you show irresponsibility with simple things, when you are given more responsibility and more resources and more freedom, you will be less responsible with it. That's just how it works. Because the scale, it doesn't change really the character. The character is still the same, but the scale is bigger because you have more resources and more freedom to exercise these things. I think if you look at the last 3 drafts, the 49ers are focused on character, guys. They want character. They want character. So,
yeah, and we're going to get into one of these guys, Jaden Dugger. The film is going to tell us a lot here. Deep down, I am super excited for this guy. I don't know if he's going to be literally the next Fred Warner, but I'm interested to see.
it makes a good title, though.
it makes you want to watch, right? So what do we got here? What were your expectations on him before the film, Johnny?
So before the film, I really didn't have a lot of expectations. I just heard a lot about the height weight. 6'5", 6'4" ish, 240 pounds. Looks like KJ Wright, moves like KJ Wright, and so I was kind of looking for, okay, does he look like KJ Wright out there? I will say I went over the film a lot with my new mug.
Shameless plug. Absolutely.
I will
shameless.
say the merch store is now live. If you were wondering, the link is in the description. We got mugs. We got hats. We got another hat over here. Got the cranberry. This is the dad hat. So it's got a little bit more curvature in the bill. I got the IXOXOSF 20-ounce tumbler. I got one. I got the tumbler. Same thing with this logo on it. I got a water bottle. I love this water bottle.
That thing is huge.
This is huge. No, I'm not going to make an Office reference. This is the water bottle. It's got a straw in it. It's awesome. Really high quality, great print. I'm wearing one of my new shirts.
John Taylor.
Super Bowl 23. John Taylor in the back of the end zone. Got the play art on it. Says, if you know, you know. You can check it out live. We got like 20-some.
Still no turban.
Items of merch. They don't offer that on Printful, okay?
Yeah.
I'm just going to say.
But we got a super chat, Johnny.
Yes, Mr. G. Thank you so much.
Let's go. Says, this is just sad. Players work hard for this type of wealth to provide for their families. Only to flame out like this is disheartening. Money doesn't make the man. It reveals him. And that's
a salient point. Yeah, that's a very salient point.
And here's what, to wrap up, to put a bow on the BA, I didn't like one of his Instagram videos that he really just talked crap about John Lynch coming to his house when he's doing like a wellness check. He's not like, you really think John Lynch is coming to like do something negative that would hurt the team and John Lynch's own like career or, standing as a citizen? Like, for Brandon Aiyuk to think that like he had to call his wife like, hey, don't come home yet because this white man is coming over or whatever, like, bro, come on, man.
Well,
like,
and you're not returning calls. You're under contract to a team. The last video they saw of you was driving 110 miles an hour past the stadium. Right. Like, you don't put things together that maybe they're seeing this and going, guys, we need to make sure that BA
is
like that
okay.
something really tragic isn't about to happen. And we need to get to the bottom. Like we need to forge a path forward, like figure out what we can do. And we've got to talk. Like he thinks he can move forward without ever stepping foot in the 49ers building again. They will not let that happen. One, he has to pass a physical to be released. He doesn't get that. Who do you think's going to give you the physical? Like he has to pass a physical because he has not been cleared to play yet. They can't release somebody like that. There would have to be an injury settlement for him to get released without a physical. They're not giving you an injury settlement. That's not happening to get released.
I was born at El Camino Hospital. Maybe he can go there and get a physical. I don't know.
Okay. But like
shout out El Camino.
And people will say, well, look, he got paid what he deserved to get paid and all that. Look, I will tell you, I have very little pity when somebody has achieved the level of financial success that so many young players, when I go to the Senior Bowl every year, every one of those guys is hungry because they're chasing that. They're saying, I want to get that. That's what I want to be great. I want to be in the NFL. I'm chasing this dream. And you can see it in their eyes. You can see it on their face. They've been working their entire lives for that moment. BA's getting there and he's saying, well, I just should have been here the entire time. And it's like, there are 10,000 people behind you ready to take your spot.
Yeah.
And you think, well, they can't be me. There are a lot of there's a lot of extremely talented and physically gifted people in the world that would love to take your spot. Do not take this for granted. You get a very short window of your life to do this and do it right, and you're squandering it. And it's really, it's mind-boggling to me. But he thinks dude still got an outstanding warrant in Santa Clara. Yeah. Like he think so. Like just play this out. He doesn't come back to California. He doesn't take care of what's happening until say they release him. He signs with the Commanders. He flies out in October to play. You know what's going to happen? The moment he steps off that Commander's plane, they're going to find out when it lands. There's going to be 2 police officers waiting for him at the bottom of the stairs from the team plane to arrest him for his outstanding warrant. Like,
stupid.
I mean, he's posting on there. He's like, do I legit, can someone tell me, do I legit have a warrant out for my arrest? You know how you find out? You call the police department. It's really simple. You Google their phone number, you call them and say, hey, do I have an outstanding warrant there?
Tardum. Buckwheat.
Calling him buckwheat. Nah, man. Buckwheat had 2 pickles, so just remember. Anyway, I got 2 pickles. I got 2.
I think he looks like Frederick Douglass.
We're gonna move on. We're going to somebody who is in the future plans of the 49ers. That is one Jaden Dugger. So I will say, I was expecting a little bit more KJ Wright here, and I saw a lot of could be. And this is a pick. Now it's a 5th round pick. You're going to get more. There's 2 things that happen in these late rounds. Either you get a high traits, low floor, but developmental guy, or you go for special teams. Like that's what happens here. This is somebody that I look at and I kind of go, I see some special teams promise here. I could see him punt coverage, kick coverage, especially with the way that kicks are now. That I could see him being a player who gets playing time early on special teams. I don't see him getting on the field for defense year 1. I think he's at least a year trajectory in development, maybe even 2. But you'll see some flashes. There are things that I do like. 1, he's a good form tackler. He's got really good tackling fundamentals. He has a knack, instincts to sift through traffic. What he doesn't have is functional strength is really low. So fighting through blocks doesn't happen. Like, moment an offensive lineman gets a hand on him, it's over. Like, it's just the play's done. Or he's out of the play. Effort is not great at all. That's my biggest concern watching this tape. Is I put it on and I was like, there is far too many low effort plays, and it really concerns me. I don't like labeling guys as just, this 5th round pick isn't going to work out. There's these things, and so he's done because, like I talked about with the guys at Senior Bowl with the NBA, I believe in young people, and I believe these young guys, they can make their own path at this point. I'm not going to put labels on a guy and that says, well, he's a 5th round pick. These are the issues in the tape. He's just not going to be anything. I'm not that kind of person. I say there's some concerns here and questions. Can he answer those in a positive way? If he can, and he gets on that development track, it can be really good. If he doesn't, and this is going to be a lot on him, then we're looking at this and saying, man, physically, interesting specimen, never really worked out. But what you see is an ability to sift through the traffic here. One, I like how he keeps his shoulders square to the line as he's working down against this wide zone. That's something you'll see a lot, is that he works and keeps square. He keeps himself in a tackling position. That's really good fundamentals. It shows he's got good lateral movement, especially for his size. He kind of moves like a basketball player. That's what he reminds me of when he moves, when he runs, change of direction, all that. But he keeps himself in a tackling position. Too many times you see guys doing like this guy's doing, and that is turn and run. So you see one guy's turning and running. So that leaves you open to this over pursue. One drill we used to do as linebackers was we would set up cones. We would say, like, there's a cone here, cone here, cone here, and you would start here, and a running back ball carrier would start here, and you had to stay one step behind them and work through. They were going to cut through at any one of these, and so you had to stay in a position to make a tackle at any one of those. So you needed to keep your shoulders square to the line, work down, stay 1 foot behind the running back to keep a good angle so you didn't over pursue, and then he cut back up inside you. So that's what's happening here. He's working laterally. He's keeping his shoulders square. He's keeping in a good tackling position. He's not turning and running. And so when the ball carrier comes up, boom, he's square to the line, able to attack and make a good tackle. He keeps himself in the tackling position. Here he's number 3. You can see that work. I like that. Good fundamentals. Good fundamentals. Here you can see similar thing. He's going to attack, keep his shoulders square. He gets low, attacks the near hip. I love this tackle. Okay. Attack the near hip, explode through, get low, wrap up. There it is. Boom. That is a great form tackle. Like, right, arms out, wrap up, attack the near hip, get him around the waist, and take him down. This is how he gets 125 tackles in his senior year. Just good form tackling here. You'll see it as well. He's going to sift through. They're running this duo, so he's got to work first the one gap, then the next gap. He's got to sift through it. You see him just read it, keep square, side lateral step, get in the hole, and make the stop. Here's number 3. This stuff is just good fundamentals of playing a linebacker, which is good for a kid that played safety, and then he played edge, and then he played Mike. So he's moved around a lot. You're going to see another similar thing. He's got to sift through this traffic, make the tackle, keeps himself square to the line, able to take on running backs. Sift through there and make the tackle.
Yeah, for a big guy like that.
Yeah, for a big guy, good stuff. Here, they're running this. They're going to run a little toss play out here. Again, same thing. Gets out here quick, gets square to the line, breaks down, makes a good open field tackle. I like the tackling fundamentals here. He gets out there, squares up, eyes to the belt buckle, makes a good open field tackle. I mean, you can see he's a tall dude. Like, he's bigger than a lot of these guys out here. Here, they're a little late because USA. July 4th, University of South Alabama, that is, where the Senior Bowl is held. That they ran a lot of no huddle, caught him off guard a number of times. Again, able to sift through, good low tackle. I like the tackling fundamentals. Okay, and then I just did this one because he played in the 2 games I watched. His tape was real hard to find. Louisiana's defense was not exactly, and this is not LSU. This is Louisiana Lafayette. Their defense was not actually, it's not even Louisiana Lafayette. That their defense wasn't exactly a hot defense to watch. They got steamrolled by Mizzou 45-10. But he played edge. So they lined him up 5 to 10 snaps here as an outside linebacker in a 3-4. This is what you mean when you say, okay, he could be that kind of KJ Wright guy, where KJ Wright, if we go back to what did they do? Under Pete Carroll, they ran a 4-3. And so, or 4-3 under, which is not like your 4-3. It's basically you're running a 4-3 with 3-4 personnel. And George Seifert back in 95, 96, even 94, everybody was wondering, what were they, a 3-4? Were they a 4-3 under scheme? That was a question back in the day when Pete Carroll was his defensive coordinator, because it was 3-4 personnel, but the way they would align and the way they would do things, they had one guy who was always dropping in coverage every time. And it was really, they were a 4-3 under. And so it's going to look like a 5-man front, but you have a bigger linebacker come up on the line as a 5th man on the line. And like, he's not rushing the passer and the other guy dropping. That rarely happens. Yeah. So, when Pete Carroll gets to Seattle and KJ Wright, he brings him in, he ends up playing him as that 5th man on the line a lot, but also can drop into coverage. And that's where he reminds me of where Jaden Dugger reminds him and I look at what the 49ers could do here in multiple fronts and Raheem Morris, and I'm thinking, okay, we're wondering who that outside linebacker is going to be. Like, for me, it's not Romello Height. Like, he's not that run defender on the edge. This kid, I think, has more upside for that. He's a little bit taller, a little bit longer arms, has the frame to add about 15 pounds. That's why I think his functional strength, he's got to add mass. He really needs to probably play at 255. Like, he's not going to be the Fred Warner playing 240, 235 at a tall guy. I don't see that. I don't see Fred Warner in him. I see more of KJ Wright, and I see more of a bigger body that's got to be in there that can play edge and then drop into coverage and have fewer responsibilities there. So like, when I look at him, I say, okay, now it makes sense. Like, people are saying just a Mike because he played Mike his last year. I think they're looking at him and saying he can be that edge base outside linebacker on the line that can also drop into coverage, and he can provide some other linebacking roles. But I don't see him as like he's the heir apparent for Fred Warner here. I don't see that.
So if he's not, then let's go, a little bit more realistic. What?
Well, we'll get into some of the not so good.
Yeah, what do you see?
And here? So here's what I mean, in that I want him to add mass. So remember, he's 6'5" here.
Gosh, he should be coming in here 5'7" in that little shot.
Well, I mean, he's hunched over, but here's
skinny.
He's the running back. He's just like, he's not a light guy, but he's thinner framed. Got to add mass. He should be coming in here and destroying this running back on a blitz, right? Yeah. You've got a lot of mass on this running back. You should be coming in there and blowing this guy up and getting right to the quarterback. Instead, what you see, he gets stonewalled. That's not good. You got to add mass, and you got to be stronger to get through there. Here, this is what I mean, in that you're going to see him flow. Offensive lineman gets his hands on him. He's got really long arms. This should never be happening. Like, you should be eating up blocks against centers and guards. They have shorter arms, remember? Like, tackles have long arms. Guards have shorter arms than tackles. Centers have shorter arms than guards. That's generally where guys play where they are. One of Jake Brendel's struggles is that he has a hard time getting into linebackers because he has short arms and they have longer arms than him. He should be able to use his arm length and have enough strength to just one arm these linemen off of him, where they can't get their arms on him. Like, these guys should never be getting their hands on him. He's got that length, but you see it far too often where guys are getting their hands on him. He's completely taken out of the play. That should be a gap that he gets into. He doesn't get in there, and it becomes a big play because these guys get their arms on him. Here, he should be exploding through this hole. Okay, he gets held here. I get it, and he looks for a flag, but you should be able to work through just a single arm out there from that guard. At your size, you should be blowing through this hole. And he doesn't. He gets held. It comes right through his gap. And you see the jogging afterwards. Like, that drove me nuts. Too many jogging plays. He was probably the best physical athlete on their defense, and he played like it. Meaning, he played like a guy who didn't have to hustle every single play because he was just better than everybody else. He was the best player on a bad defense. Now he's going to be the worst player on a good defense.
Big difference.
And so I wonder, how is he going to adjust to that? And is the effort going to go? Because there were times that he was jogging and he was moving just as fast as some of their safeties. And I was like, is he really jogging, or is that just like how his running looks? And then you would see plays where he'd open it up and he would chase, and you would say, no, he's jogging like so many plays out here. I could put like 25 clips up here just from the Mizzou game where the play's still going and he's just jogging. And I'm like, dude, and he ends up as the second or third guy to the ball carrier. I'm like, bro, you need to be running. Like, you got to run to the ball, fly to the ball. Do not be jogging here. Here you see, same thing. He's going to come through. Once an offensive lineman gets his hands on him, it's over. I mean, like, it's not even a devastating block. Like, they just kind of get their hands on him right here. There's no fight through this. There's no urgency. He just kind of turns and then jogs. Like, the play's still going, dude. Like, you turn and you run that down. It just drove me nuts here. And then he's got to learn some nuance of coverage. So he's right here in the middle. Here's where you can see his size. Like, he just looks way bigger than the guy next to him. But this is tough. Okay, so they're playing cover 3 here. So deep thirds, right? And then they have hook and a hook over the middle. They're going to have out in the flat and out in the flat. So this is the strong side over here. You got 3 eligibles. So there's 3, and then there's 2 over here. And then they're going to change the strength. So they're going to bring a guy in motion, and that's going to make this the strong side. So you see, here it comes. Here's the motion. So now this is the strong side. This is the weak side. That does change the responsibilities of these guys a little bit. And then, though, they're going to do a post-snap change of the strength again. They have a run action fake this way. So he's now the weak side linebacker. He's the will. And as a will, you're responsible for these crossers. Almost the way almost everybody's playing their cover 3 these days is this will is responsible for these routes crossing the field, these deep crossers. And so he's got to turn and locate and pick that up. This is his man coming across here. He's got to pick up the number 3 on the crosser. He doesn't do it. He's locked in to the quarterback. This is where the film study's got to come into play. The understanding of you've seen this play. The college offenses only run like 25, 30 plays. Everybody thinks that there are these 60, 70 playbooks. I will tell you, after watching so many college offenses this offseason, they all run about like 25 plays. So that's a little note to high school coaches. Don't come in with a 60 playbook. You're overloading your high school kids. A lot of colleges don't even do that. So here, like, this is his dude running down here. Boom. They're going to hit it for an explosive. And you can see that when that head tips back, he knew it was on him. So he's got to learn some nuances of coverage. Because if I'm an offensive coordinator in the NFL and I know I'm going to play him, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back and I'm going to watch his college tape and I'm going to see that play. And I'm going to go, okay, what we're going to do is we're going to establish a run. Probably end of the first quarter, we're hitting him with that play and we're going to get an explosive gain. Like, we're going to set it. We're going to set that up with the run, the first 10 to 12 plays, and then we're going to hit the explosive on him. And then now we can start doing other things to build off that.
Yeah, that's not going to go well in the NFL. Like these coaches are looking for a little bit more. But progress, again, you like to say a young player can make his own way and get better. And the people he's learning from, good Lord, are good guys to be learning from.
Yeah. So that gives you, like, he's got good fundamentals. There are some serious concerns. Again, my biggest concerns are even what we looked on the tape. It was just the stuff that just you don't show it a lot. There's not a lot to show there, but just too much jogging, too much lackadaisical move. I just wanted to see more effort. Those are real concerns. Functional strength. He's got to add mass. So that's what I mean. Like, I see it, you got to understand nuances of coverage. So he's got to work. This is going to be a 1 to 2 year developmental player. Like, that's why I say that. I don't see him as the second coming of Fred Warner, who comes in as a rookie in training camp and just, says, "Oh wow, this kid's the legit deal, and he earns a starting spot right away." I don't see that at all. But what does pop is his straight line speed, his long stride. I mean, this kid's got a long stride. When he opens it up, he closes the distance in a hurry. It doesn't even look like he's moving that fast, because he can cover from this spot out beyond the hash in about 3 steps. Like, it's crazy how long his stride is. So you're going to see him here. They're going to run a little toss play here and just get through this. I mean, watch the stride. Boom, boom, boom. And then he's there.
Jeez.
He eats up ground in a hurry. Again, he doesn't look like he's moving as fast as he is, because the stride is, I mean, look at the length of his legs, where his hips are compared to these guys. Like, dude's got some long legs and these strides. There he goes. Open up. Boom, boom, boom. Covers. I mean, he went from here to here in 3 steps. For me, I'm 5'8". That would take me about 12. Like, so, I mean, that long stride just eats up ground. He covers ground in a hurry. Here you're going to see that he comes on a blitz. I mean, the ability to come from 5 yards deep to a quarterback in the shotgun. I mean, gets there in a hurry. Yeah. Eats up space. When he explodes, he's got a great step, an explosion to get in there, covers ground in a hurry. When he sees it and he's diagnosed it and he fires, it's exciting. And which is a thing, the 49ers have a type for linebackers, and it's this kind of stuff, right? Nick Martin was this way. Like, when he would see it and he'd explode, man, he could cover ground in a hurry. Dre Greenlaw, that's what he is. Tatum Bethune, when he was at Florida State, that's what they were excited about with him. Fred Warner, like, all of their linebackers have a type. D. Winters, when he was here, is they want guys that when they play fast, they cover ground in a hurry and they arrive with violence. That is him. When he sees it and he can get in there, I mean, this is incredible to shoot through this gap and get a tackle in the backfield. Here he is, number 3, bang, right through there. He explodes through the hole. Here, they're going to run a little swing pass out here. This is where you'll see him open it up. This is what I mean. Like, I wasn't sure sometimes because I saw so much jogging. Like, maybe that's just his run. And then you see plays like this and you go, okay, no, this is what he looks like when he opens it up, and he can cover some ground. So here he is. I mean, kind of looks like Fred Warner, the big, tall frame and the dreads. I mean, he will cover ground in a hurry. That's the stuff that gets you excited about him. Here, they get caught off guard a little bit. He's got to step back, but watch put the foot in the ground and explode in here and cover ground and make a tackle right at the hip. Yeah. Good form tackle. I mean, this is stuff that's exciting about the kid. You say, okay, man, this gets me excited. This gets me kind of jazzed. This is an incredible play. So this is at the goal line. It's second down, 24-22, I think was where it was. It was hard to tell because I had to go back and look at the game outlet, because apparently the film guy for USA didn't understand why they need to take a shot of the scoreboard, the video board beforehand, because he was just taking a shot of the Jumbotron. He wasn't getting the time, like the time on the clock, the score, the down and distance, like that. You could see the edge of it on the side, and he's just like looking at the big Jumbotron. It was really weird. Anyways, So I had to go back and look at what the situation was here. USA is driving. They're about to try and take the lead. It's second down at the goal line. They're going to try and come after Dugger with they're going to go play action. They're going to take this tight end, run him on a corner route. So he's number 1 in the progression. And then they're going to take this tight end. They're going to have him chip and then release out here. So they're trying to high-low him on the outside. 1 to 2. Tough at this point because they're on the 2-yard line. Like, you don't have a lot of room for error. So he's got to first carry the deep, read out the play action fake. Yeah, we'll get there. Read out the play action fake. He's got to take away the deep and then rally to the underneath. And then he's got to make a goal line tackle / hit. Okay, goal line tackling is different than just normal tackling.
You can't let him fall forward.
Tackling. Yeah. You can't let him fall forward. So what we used to do is we'd line everybody up. We'd put a ball carrier here. He'd lay on your back. You'd be a linebacker. And when they blew the whistle, you had to get up, and this guy was going to try and make a tackle, and you had to tackle him high. My sophomore year in high school, I was a $160, 5'8", and I got lined up against a guy who was 6'3", 230 pounds, and I had to try and make a goal line tackle on him. I'll tell you, that did not end well for me. But you tackle high, you want to hit high, drive the legs so that they cannot fall forward. Rob, we were on the show talking about this yesterday. He had a great poll in the memory of it kind of reminds you of 2019, right? So against the Falcons, a game the 49ers should have won. They lose because they tackle Julio Jones. They hit him low. He falls over him into the end zone, scores a touchdown, wins the game at the last second. Then you go week 17 against Seattle. Barnum, tight end from Seattle. Anyways, Dre Greenlaw's sitting there. They're running that crosser. He hits him high, and he stops him, and it's a goal line stand, right, to get the number 1 seed. So here he's got to hit high, drive the legs, bang, comes up, makes the hit immediately, puts the guy on the ground. A high hit. He doesn't have the low tackle that you normally see. So I love the situational awareness. I love the awareness of the play. I mean, this is a really high IQ play in every way. And it ends up USA turns the ball over on downs 2 plays later. And this is it pretty much wins the game for Louisiana. Here, you wonder, can he do what the 49ers love to do? They love to drop their linebackers deep into intermediate coverage and then rally to the underneath throws and make solid tackles. So how quickly can you rally from a deep drop? Here you see it. They're going to check it down and then rally, cover ground, and go make a tackle.
Get there, yeah.
That is what's exciting here. Love the usage of what's called a vision technique. So the 49ers employ what in defensive technique terms we would call vision technique, meaning you want to keep 95% of your vision on the quarterback. So you're going to drop and you're going to keep 95% of your vision to the quarterback unless you have to turn and locate. You have to turn and locate, like on a crosser, okay? If you don't do that, they want you to use 5% of your peripherals to read out the releases of receivers. So you feel your eyes are on the quarterback, but you're aware of what's happening to the sides. And you feel, okay, vertical here, there's probably going to be a dig behind that, or there's going to be a post behind it, or, whatever your film study has said, and you're going to watch the quarterback. You're reading his drop. You're reading his shoulder angles, not necessarily where his eyes are going, but you're ready to drive. So you see him set up. Okay, he drifts a little bit to my right. That means he's probably going to throw to my left. So you can work that way. You read the drop of the quarterback, 3-step drop, ball's coming out quick. So you don't get a lot of depth. 5-step drop. Okay, now I know vertical with a 5-step drop. So like that's what you do. That's what the vision technique is about. It's not just eyes on the quarterback and following their eyes, because then really good NFL quarterbacks are going to look you off. So they're in quarters coverage here. He's playing a middle hook. So you see one, he identifies the release. I like that. And then he's going to get his eyes to the quarterback, vision technique. So there's the eyes to the quarterback. He's reading this out. So he understands, okay, what's coming this way. He knows he doesn't need to get too deep because he's got a quarter safety behind him. So he's going to read this out. And when he reads the drop, when the quarterback's ready to throw, he drives on the throw. and he gets an interception. Only one less interception last year than our top corner in interceptions. So love the game-changing play.
Man, that's big. Like you said, a little bit of good, a little bit of bad.
and some great. I mean, some real high potential here for what he can be. Love the potential that is there. He's got to realize that potential. But we're looking at about a year trajectory, I think, maybe even 2 years as a developmental track. The physical tools are there. It reminds me of the Nick Martin pick. But I think he's more of a role player than Nick Martin. Nick Martin, the idea is that he could develop into a every down linebacker. I don't see him as that. I see him as a base down linebacker. I see him as that third linebacker role, like what Luke Gifford is this year. Like that's what I see him as. I don't see him as the heir apparent to Fred Warner. I don't see him as the next, Dre Greenlaw, Will linebacker. I don't see it. I see some instances, but I just see a kid who needs to add mass. I think I don't like from some of the things I'm just seeing. I don't love the idea of we're going to put him as a Mike and have him play Fred Warner world. Now, I will say one of the things that's intriguing is you see a guy like Brock Purdy, who is so good at those layered throws over the middle, right? And what is that about? That's about getting it over the intermediate guy. When a guy's 6'4", 6'5", man, that makes that a very hard throw to layer over that guy. Yeah. So that is an interesting aspect of that. I mean, maybe I'll rethink some of them. He could be there's a lot of potential. There's a lot to work with, but he's got to develop, and he needs really strong coaching. He needs a really strong, probably weight program regimen to add mass, to get more functional strength. It's not like Louisiana's known for their strength and conditioning program. But he's got to add those things. Got to develop in more nuanced defenses, but there's so much to really like there.
Well, one of the reasons we like this channel, Eric Sully checks in, says, watching this film breakdowns always makes me realize how difficult football really is. The more and more you dissect film.
Terrarium is cracking me up because he's just going after him in the chat. He's just like, he doesn't play with guys who don't have don't play with the right mentality. And I will say, look,
barbecue chicken for OCs. He said.
There's a lot of the mentality of how you play that position. I mean, like you've got to be a little bit of a psycho to play linebacker. Just period.
Dre Greenlaw.
You've got, because I mean that's a dude that's involved in every play in some way and is going to go make a lot of hits and a lot of tackles. It still is surprising to me that linebackers' pay has actually decreased by percentage of the cap over the last 10 years comparative to other positions. I'm like, you look at teams that have really good defenses, none of them have bad linebackers. Like they just don't. For me, I don't get it. I just don't get it. I always think the harder your defense is linebackers. You look at the greatest defense of all time, like they have those guys there. I mean, you look at the Steel Curtain, they had great linebackers. Yeah. You look at the 85 Bears, man, they had Mike Singletary sitting there. You look at the Ravens,
Ray Lewis, Terrell Suggs.
They had Ray Lewis, and you look at our Fangio defense, so the early 2010s with Patrick Willis and Navarro Bowman, and what we've had here with Fred Warner and Dre Greenlaw, and you see these defenses. You see a lot of mid 90s with Ken Norton and Gary Plummer. Like Ken Norton Jr. was a great linebacker. And so, like, I look at really good defense. I go, I don't get why teams are like cheaping on linebackers as much now. I just don't. But where your linebackers go, your defense goes, in my opinion.
Yep, we are excited as it gets closer. We gotta get through the World Cup. It is exciting to see a little bit on Monday. If things go well, we'll have more film or no? What are you
I don't think
thinking?
I'm going to get to Enrique Cruz quite yet. There's a lot to look at with Enrique
Okay.
Cruz. So I was out of town for a whole week. I didn't have my
Yeah.
computer. I literally did not have. I was at a summer camp, so that's why I lost my voice. Like I came back Monday. I was like, I'm going to do a show, and I sounded like Trent Baalke, and not in a
Yeah,
good
you
way.
texted me.
So
Yeah.
I texted Adam and I was like, I mean, if I tried, I would sound like Trent Baalke, and it hurt to talk to. I was drinking a lot of chamomile tea with honey to try and get things right for the faithful.
Johnny, hold up you got the mug there as I remind people.
Got this mug. I have this mug comes in 3 sizes. This is the 20-ounce version because I drink a lot of coffee. I also have this one in the XOSF.
Yep.
In a mug and that too in 3 different sizes. There's 20 ounce, I think 16 ounce and 12 ounce. There's 2 different tumblers. Okay. Your hot and cold tumblers. There's the water bottle. I was trying to turn it the wrong way. There's a giant water bottle. I love this water bottle. For real, I'd take it almost everywhere with me. Got the hat. Got another hat too. It's a lighter colored hat. You can go get that one. It's very similar to this one. So this is the dad hat. This is the dad hat. The link is in the description below. You can see the hat.
And there's the shirt. Man, that's
the
rad.
shirt with the winning play. There's also one with the catch. Dwight Clark in the back of the end zone on it.
If you know, you know.
If you know, you know. That's what's on it. If you know, you know. There's nothing that says I am a diehard 49ers fan more than being able to show the exact play as it was drawn up.
Yep.
To win some of the biggest moments in 49ers history. We're going to do more. We're going to do more as it goes. I don't want to oversaturate the merch store right away. We'll release some over the next couple months.
Strategery.
Trying to be strategery. These hats come in all sorts of different colors. You can check it out. This is the trucker hat, snapback mesh. Really like it. I was wearing this all week at camp, so it was good. Check out the merch store. Got magnets, shirts for the kids. If you want to get a shirt for the kid, got youth t-shirts. I got a gym bag. You need a gym bag, duffel bag. Got one there. So we got all sorts of stuff. I'm working on a blanket. Somebody said I should do my face. I'm not going to do that to people. Like, that's just weird. Nobody needs to see me watching them while they sleep.
The wife might buy one.
She wants to see me watching her as she sleeps. She'll wake up at 1 a.m. and just look up.
Hey, now.
But no, if I can come up with a really cool design for a blanket, I'll do a blanket too. Maybe I'll see if I can do John Taylor to the back of the end zone on a blanket. I mean, come on. Like just imagine you go to a game and you got that big blanket waving over the railing. That shows you're the real 49ers fan.
That is pretty dope. The way you can show you're a fan of this channel is remember to take your phone, show it to people wearing Niners gear. Make sure that if you are not subscribed and that if you have not hit the notification bell, what are you doing? And make sure you do that because we don't always go when we say we're going to. Life happens.
Wondering if Dr. Steve's been in the sauce. His recent comments a little.
Yeah.
You okay there, Dr. Steve?
Yeah. I don't even know what that is, but it's boosting the algo as we get out of here.
Yeah.
So
it's going Brandon Aiyuk in the chat.
Quiffleball wants a baby romper. You making a baby over there, Quiffleball? So
a grown man baby romper. That would be awesome. I'm going to do whatever I can to see if I can make that happen.
He's baby romping. All right. So we will, unless something crazy happens,
hey, congratulations to whoever it was. Somebody ordered something. I just got the email.
No, well, Glass City. It was Glass City. They announced it earlier in the chat.
Oh, okay. Well, Glass City, thank you so much.
Yeah.
For
at least I'm pretty sure.
How did Fred look on his college tape? I didn't get his college tape. That was the thing. That was before I had access to it. I didn't have the right sources. I will say I tried really hard to get as many Jaden Dugger games as I could. I have 3 different sources for college tape. And between the 3 of them, they only had 2 games of Louisiana's defense. Their defense was so not exciting to watch that they played Delaware in a bowl game. I had Delaware's defense playing against Louisiana's offense and not Louisiana's defense. Like playing against Delaware's offense. Like I was sitting there going, it's there, it's in the Google Drive, but it's crazy. Anyways,
Monday we will not be around because there is.
Dawn
is.
We'll go late Monday night. Yeah, I have a doctor's appointment for my son.
World Cup is Monday night too, though.
Who cares about the World Cup?
Oh, come on. People are watching.
I'm just kidding. I will say it's great to see all the people from around the world that haven't been able to experience America experiencing it. I mean, if you're going to be in America at any time, 250th year anniversary. I mean, come on. Like I love America. People get in different things. I since I was a kid, I love this country. I love the 4th of July. I've been rewatching through an old history documentary. My wife can attest to this. It was the one put out by the History Channel in the mid 2000s on 13-part series on the Revolutionary War and the founding of the country, because I want to refresh on this stuff. Love it. So
watch Sandlot. Watch Sandlot.
Watch the Sandlot.
4th of July fireworks.
I guess it seems like the better one to be born on the 4th of July, but okay.
Sandlot for the win.
No. Football related. Little Giants. Go watch Little Giants.
Okay, yeah. Watch some Giants baseball. Sandlot. Don't blow your fingers off, please. This is the last day that some of us are going to have all of our fingers. It's the last day, so don't be that guy.
That's crazy to think about. I mean, because there's going to be somebody who
absolutely
wakes
up.
They
don't know it.
July 5th and doesn't have fingers, so that's unfortunate.
Yep.
Way to end the show on a low note. But
talk about being in the meantime, in between time, staying safe and staying healthy. That's literally what you need to do this 4th of July. And as always, go Niners.